it's Miss Chrissy from the Hickory Corner Branch Library, and today I'm going to show you how to extract DNA. DNA lives in the nucleus of our cells, and it carries our genetic material, so it's basically what makes us, us. But humans aren't the only ones with DNA. Nearly all living organisms have DNA, including strawberries, and that's what we're going to use today. We're going to extract the DNA from strawberries. So you're going to need 2 strawberries, 2 plastic cups, a coffee filter, a plastic baggie, salt, dish soap, and rubbing alcohol. And the rubbing alcohol is cold, so I actually had it in my freezer before this. And you don't have to worry about having it in your freezer that it's going to freeze or anything, because the freezing point for alcohol is minus 128 degrees. So it'll be safe in your freezer. But that's what we're going to need to do this experiment. So what you're going to have to start with is your strawberries. You're going to cut off the stems. So we're going to get those cut off, and we're going to put them in the plastic bag. If you want, you can cut your strawberry smaller if you have a really big one like that, because we're going to be squishing them up anyway. So put them in there, and then when you seal your plastic bag, try to get as much air out as possible so you don't pop the bag and have an explosion of strawberries. Okay, and now let's start squishing it all together. So you're squishing, we want to release the liquid from here. And as we're squishing, what we're doing is we're breaking the cells. And breaking the cells, that's releasing the DNA. So we're gonna get them all broken up. And so you're gonna squish for about 2 minutes. And what's really interesting about strawberries is we actually share about 60% of our DNA with strawberries, which sounds kind of crazy that we would share 60% of our DNA with strawberries. But among humans, we share 99.9% of our DNA together. We're actually really very much the same. 99.9% the same. It's just that 0.1% that makes us different, that makes us unique. Okay, so now really squish it up. Again, careful not to tear your bag or rip your bag so that it all starts to drip out. We want to get as much liquid as we can, so really get it to a nice pulp there. And then we're going to make our extraction liquid, which is going to separate the DNA out from the cells. So this is kind of breaking it to release it, and then we're going to separate it out. Okay, and now let's make our extraction liquid. So our extraction liquid is going to be 1 teaspoon of salt. We'll pour that in our cup. And half a cup of water. And 2 teaspoons of dish soap. I'll pump mine out here. So you're not going to need all of this liquid. You could use more for another experiment. So if you have more strawberries, you could do it again. Or if you have bananas, you could also extract the DNA from bananas. So let's stir it up. Get it nice and mixed up. And then we're going to add 2 teaspoons of this to our bag with the strawberries in it. So I'm kind of stirring it gently. I don't want to create too many bubbles. So once I have that stirred up, let's get 2 teaspoons. 1 and 2. And I'm going to squish it all together again. This time I'm going to be gentle because again, I don't want to create too many bubbles. Let's squish that together. So that way it can extract the DNA from the cells, pull it out of the cells. So first we broke the cells, now we're pulling the DNA out, and then we're going to strain this, and we're going to use the alcohol to separate them. So I get this all mixed together. I'm going to put my coffee filter down in the cup, and this is going to act as my strainer. And let me pour all this in. Okay. So we want to try to get as much liquid in there as we can. You're going to notice though that not that much comes through the coffee filter. I don't have that much down there. So I'm going to have to squeeze it out of the coffee filter. But you need to be gentle now because we don't want to break the coffee filter. We don't want all the pulp in there. We just want the liquid. So we're gently squeezing it out. Now when we add the rubbing alcohol, we're going to want to add about the same amount So it's okay if you only have a small amount of liquid. Like this is a fine amount. We're just gonna add the same amount of rubbing alcohol to that. So that's why I didn't give you an actual measurement of the rubbing alcohol, because it just depends on how much liquid you get out. Okay. So now I'm gonna take the cold rubbing alcohol. I'm actually gonna pour it down on the side of the cup. And so I have about to here, so I wanna go to about this high up with the rubbing alcohol. I'm gonna pour that down the side of the cup. Just like that. And so what's gonna happen is you're gonna see that the two separate. So the alcohol is going to be up here, the pulp is gonna go down to the bottom, it's gonna settle down on the bottom, but then you're gonna see this cloudy layer that's forming in the alcohol. That cloudy layer is the DNA. So those are the strands of DNA that we're gonna try to pull out. And so it's actually kind of like a viscous kind of layer. It's kind of similar to snot. So we're actually gonna be able to pick it up. So if you have something around, a coffee stir, plastic or wooden, or a skewer, or any kind of tool that you can kind of just lift it out. I'm gonna try to lift some. You can see it there. So that's some DNA there. Let me see if I can get a bigger strand of it. Sometimes you can get a really nice long piece, like that. So that is the DNA of the strawberry. That's what makes the strawberry a strawberry. And you have DNA like that all through your body. As a matter of fact, you have so much DNA in your body that if you were able to take the double helix, that's the pattern that the DNA is in, it's kind of like a twisty ladder. So it's twisted together, two strands twisted together. But if you were able to untwist it all and lay it all out, it would go all through the universe past Pluto. That's how much DNA is in your body. Isn't that really cool? It's so cool that you can see that that's what made the strawberry a strawberry.